Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, our card tonight is the Prince of Discs. So I suspect we'll be dealing with some things in the mundane, in our physical world. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so I immediately am seeing we have a lion's head up here. And so I feel that we're dealing with somebody who maybe is a Leo, definitely has kind of, well, the fierceness of a female lion, right? The mother protector energy. Now, does this mean that they're protecting their children? No, but they might have that fierceness, right? Almost the kind of ruthlessness. And I'm imagining this maybe has to do with something in your work life, volunteer life. You know, I don't know, maybe you live in an HOA or, you know, a neighborhood where people are, you know, quite involved with one another, maybe a little pushy, you know, this kind of energy. So we have also the moon. We have the crescent moon up here. Let me get my stick. We have the crescent moon. Here in the middle, I'm seeing that we do have kind of it looks like a place that you spend a lot of time. Now, I don't know that it's necessarily at home. It could be, but I do feel like this is the workplace. We have a bird sitting on top, right? Now, we also have, it feels like two people kind of, I don't see any other way besides in kind of a power struggle, right? And I feel that there is kind of this, it's almost a distortion in the norm, right? And that's, we have the moon energy. So there's almost kind of this dread, maybe kind of this, I can't help but feel like it's almost a immature, pushy, immature, in your face, causing problems, just absolutely will not relent, right? Can't get to a point where it's like, okay, this is not working, right? There's a lot of problems being caused by this person. And they don't seem to be able to have much self-awareness. Okay, so I feel this is maybe an environment that you've been in for quite a while. Maybe you've worked here for some years, right? Or volunteered, or you've lived in this neighborhood for some years. And it's usually felt pretty organized, pretty balanced, safe, you know, that you had your own autonomy within these spaces. And now we have this person who has become quite problematic, right? Their behavior, volatile, pushy, overly involved, where they should not be, right? Or maybe they shouldn't be. And I feel like this is something that you have tried to remedy. You've done your due diligence, you know, as as a Sagittarius, you're pretty good at trying to navigate other people's, you know, feelings, their maybe beliefs about things, their dispositions. You're very professional, right? You're not going to get involved in kind of a bickering match where it doesn't need to be. You're not going to be arguing and fighting and, you know, whatever, causing a big drama. That's just not in your nature. But this you've been dragged into. And this is something that I feel as though there's just a sense of almost giving up on the situation. Like, I just don't want to be here anymore. This has gotten to a point where I don't feel comfortable. I don't like going to work because there is this dynamic. And I don't think that you are the only one. Okay, so the power just went off in the middle of recording, just for a minute, thankfully. So I'm just going to continue on and hope that the file is not corrupt or anything from the beginning. And so here we are. I'm going to get right back into it. Okay, so yeah, I feel like it's just this sense of, you know, you've worked here. You feel like people should have your back. But the environment feels chaotic now. There's a sense of wanting to get things back to how they used to be. And if that's not possible, then maybe it's time to move on. And I think that this is kind of the thinking that, you know, you have going on here. You really focus on, I want to be able to do my work in peace, you know, and that's ultimately what I feel is at the core of this. You want to do your work, you want to live your life, you don't want to have a bunch of problems, and here this is kind of unavoidable when you get into a situation like this where you know, you have not the control over how other people interact. Obviously, we can't control how people behave. And maybe you don't necessarily have the ability to decide who is in that environment or not, right? So let's see, what else do we have going on? Now, I do see we have a person up here. You can see the head, the body, arm raised, holding, it looks like the crescent moon, right? We saw this up here. Now holding on to it. We also have a dog, right? And it reminds me kind of that lunar motif. The dog, the jackal, howling at the moon, right? So overall, I absolutely get this feeling of anxiety, some dread, possibly, right? Worried about this situation. How is this going to play out? Well, here's the thing. We have to kind of let it go as much as we can. And I know it's not easy. It's not easy to just kind of give over what we perceive as the power or the control in the situation. Unfortunately, when we work in these kind of environments where, or we volunteer or, you know, whatever it is, where it is kind of a collective thing, a collective effort, there are going to be people that, you know, have their own way of doing things, their own style of being, their personalities might be in conflict with your own. And, you know, really the best that you can do is just kind of focus on your own work at hand, you know. And if you can go deeper, if you find that it is worth that, to you, looking at what is it about this person that really kind of is upsetting to you. Now, if it is the behavior that they're just being unreasonable and causing problems and, you know, all that, of course, that's difficult in the workplace. You know, but at the same time, it is a situation where this might be one of the ordeals that you are going through. You know, this is one of those kind of spiritual tests, if you will. How will you proceed? How will you react to this? What will you do to empower yourself? You know, usually it's not in engaging the conflict. It is turning to self, doing work on self. You know, it's difficult when you are experiencing people who are, you know, difficult to be around, to the energies, right, are thrown off. You have to protect your energy. And we can do that by trying not to internalize other people's behaviors and attitudes and everything like that. Also, if this is a workplace, if this is a volunteer place or, you know, kind of the collective community around you, you know, and not your home, although this could be a reading, you know, about the dynamics of your domestic situation. Try to remind yourself, this is not my, what do people say? This is not my circus. These are not my monkeys, right? This isn't for me to worry about. I do my work. I do it as well as I possibly can. And then I put it down. I clock out and I go home. Right? Don't bring that stuff home with you. Do not dwell in it. Everything will take care of itself in its own time. So, I feel that, you know, there's a lot of anxiety in this place here, but it will be relieved. There will be a period of revealing and dissipation, letting go of. It's like coming into a fever pitch, right? A place where, the chaos, I can hear just the loudness in the mind, right? This heart beating fast, anxiety. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. And I'm saying, you know, this is what I'm feeling. Now, I do want to be here doing this reading. But we just kind of try to bring it to the center, right? Breathe it out. Remind yourself, this is not going to be forever. It will take care of itself. So, let's see, what else do we have? And I feel that there is, you know, almost kind of I feel like there's kind of a resentment, if I can be honest. The resentment because I feel like you're quite passionate about this work that you do, this volunteering that you do, whatever it is that this applies to, this situation. And you had a good thing going, right? And it's kind of been, it feels like anyways, this is how I feel like you're perceiving it. It's sullied it a bit because it has become this thing that you were hoping that it wouldn't become. There was a peacefulness and a sense of tranquility almost prior to how things are right now. And I'm looking here, we have a person holding the Grail, holding the Ace of Cups. We also have, it looks like a rabbit over here. So I do feel like there is a time coming very soon where there is a return to being able to focus on why you love the work that you're doing, why you take pride in whatever it is, your creative processes, the things that you put, you know, the output, your ability to do the job that you do, your career, this time that you've put in to kind of hone your skills, and the world that you have built for yourself to live in. I feel like this thing will pass, and there will be a time very soon where you're really right back into these emotional, passionate, kind of beautiful place in your own life. And that lends itself to the fertility of your creativity, right? Getting back where it's kind of clicking again. Now, this might be that you have to kind of find a different position somewhere. Maybe a good time to start filling out those applications and building your resume. Now, I know, big sigh, right? Ugh, not again. Or not for the first time in a long time. But it might be also, as I said, that it kind of just works itself out. Now, somebody who's going to come into an environment where things were pretty chill before, and all of a sudden now they're causing just havoc, well, that's not very sustainable, right? And hopefully management sees that. Hopefully, you know, whoever the owners or whoever it is that's involved, they see there's a problem here. This is creating something that is making the workplace feel somewhat hostile. And, you know, hopefully that is taken care of. Now, we also have, it looks like it's EU, but also I'm looking at it as ear. EAR. So I wonder if you've been having some issues with your ear. Maybe feeling some pressure. Maybe you've had times where it's kind of hard to hear. Maybe like a sinus issue happening, allergies, or a sinus infection or ear infection or something. But I feel like it is, and it seems like it plays into this overall feeling of a lot of a pressure buildup in life, not only in the physical form, but I feel like with the anxieties of everything. Now, we also have a goat over here. So I feel like there is, you know, the ultimate sign of being able to traverse difficult situations, staying level-headed, right? Steadfast in your growth, in your personal journey towards self-evolution, right? Not getting caught up in the kind of, I just imagine like these tentacles of distraction and trying to pull you down, right? Into these lower, profane movements of human dramas and, you know, what's the word? Like gossiping and angling and the politicking and all of that. No, staying kind of moving up that mountain, up that holy mountain, doing the spiritual work, allowing for yourself to bring that into the work that you're doing, right? That fortitude that you have due to, your relationship with the divine. And also just allowing for yourself to feel your feelings but not stay attached to them, right? Yeah, it's okay for us to feel offended or slighted or even kind of grieving how things once were. But we have to be responsible for our reactions, right? We have to be, we have to take responsibility for the way that we engage. You know, it might not be fair, but that's the way it goes, right? And it's not always easy. It's absolutely not. Now, we do have a dragon here, right in the middle. Oops, let me spill some of this out. I'm going to get it all over myself. So we have a dragon right here. We have a person standing next to them. And I feel that, yeah, this is a blip, right? We're going through a little bit of a rough period in the workspace. I don't think in other places, but we have the Prince of Discs. So we do have this energy of, yeah, continuing on. Getting on that chariot, barreling down through, right? Not going to give up. Passion is still fully intact. A little bit distracted by whatever this is, you know, if it's one person, if it's a group of people, you know, whatever, this dynamic will change. It will shift. This year is going to continue to get better for you in this kind of Malkuthian zone, right? I see you finishing out this year very strong. Things ending up going your way. So fear not, right? This is just kind of one of those ordeals that happen. And I think that it will correct itself quite quickly, okay? Now we also have the number 6. So I feel like the number 6 is going to be really important this week. As soon as you hear this reading, which is a timeless reading, it is activated. And so then it will feed into the week that you are having. And a 6 will be a prominent number for you. Okay, we're going to do our divine doors here. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Beautiful, beautiful. I love a gorgeous light-colored facade with a pretty door like that. It just kind of, it makes you happy, doesn't it? It says, the Odyssey. Take in the beauty of country lands and botany. Explore the wonder like a gypsy traveler's odyssey. All right. Yes. Get out there wandering about. Go find some beautiful things. There are so many gorgeous like farmers markets and little weekend festivals happening this time of year all over. Go partake. Go partake. All right. Well, Sagittarius, I want to tell you I love you because I absolutely do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel, which the channel seems to need some help lately. My goodness. My numbers have not been great. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to try some new things. I'm going to, I don't know, switch it up a little bit. Maybe kind of change the way that I read a little. I know I've heard people don't necessarily want to hear about my private life, and I'm going to try to abide. I will. Oh, my throat. Excuse me. Anything is helpful for engagement. It does help. let's see, what else is going on? Oh, if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I love hearing from you all. I try to get to as many of the comments as I can. Unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of them. And so I do read them all. As far as responding, not always every single one. Now, I used to for a long time. I did every single comment, and now I feel dread that, well, not dread, but I feel just a sadness a little bit that I'm not able to respond to each one. But I do my best here. So I just want you to know that you are loved and you are heard and so very appreciated. Let's see, what else? Today's Father's Day. It will be past when this comes out, but happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and caretakers and people doing the work of fathers as well. So, again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Good night.